USA.
The United States offers opportunities for all and serves as a free nation while preserving its role as the meeting point of social and political disagreements. Throughout its timeline, starting with revolutionary beginnings and advancing toward civil rights battles, the nation has exhibited transformation alongside resiliency. War experiences combined with groundbreaking progress and continuous pursuit of the American promise created the superpower. Social structures along the American continents prospered for millennia until the first European expeditions of discovery happened. The populations of these cultures constructed urban areas while establishing commercial links and governmental frameworks, which today seem forgotten. The ancestral Puebloans constructed their settlements by making homes into cliffside structures that dwelled within mountain interiors. The Mississippian cultural people constructed massive earth pyramid structures, while Cahokia evolved into a population of numerous thousands. The Iroquois Confederacy established exemplary diplomatic skills that led to their democratic system, which later became an inspiration for the design of the U.S. Constitution. The Great Plains tribes depended on the buffalo for their existence because their way of life fluctuated with natural ecosystem patterns. Multiple societies, in addition to isolated tribes, experienced multifaceted economic systems which involve farming alongside fishing alongside hunting. Corn, beans, and squash, known as the Three Sisters, sustained agriculture as its main crop. The Great Lakes region formed a trade network that extended all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, linking different societal groups. Researchers continue to ponder whether the Europeans truly originated the first foreign exploration of the Americas. The arrival of Leif Erikson at Newfoundland occurred 500 years before Christopher Columbus discovered America. Evidence shows that Chinese people and Africans possibly made early arrivals before European colonizers stepped foot in America. History probably contains a greater level of intricacy than previous teachings suggest. The world entered a new direction when Columbus brought his ships to the Americas in 1492. The new transoceanic foods, such as potatoes and tomatoes, arrived after deadly diseases like smallpox spread into the region, killing large numbers of people. The Spanish expedition sought gold, through which they conquered the Aztecs to acquire extensive territories. French settlers moved into Canadian territories to conduct trading activities with indigenous people through their fur business. English colonizers attempted to establish their dominion in that region, although their efforts proved fruitless. Roanoke Colony disappeared in a puzzling way as empty houses stood without traceable bodies while someone carved Croatoan into a tree. Was it an attack? A desperate escape? History holds no answers to what happened to the Roanoke town since its disappearance, and we are left with an unsolved mystery.
Lost Colony remains this mystery that's at the very heart of the origin of our nation. People remain fascinated by Roanoke because we know so little about the place.
During their initial months at Jamestown, settlers conducted survival through the consumption of rats in order to avoid starvation. Plymouth managed to form partnerships with the Wampanoag people. The wealth of Virginia grew from tobacco production, even though slave labor created most of its financial gains. Heavy taxes enforced by Britain created hostility toward colonial residents after their defeat of France in North America. The Boston Tea Party transformed into street protests, which launched an unmistakable warning to Britain. The British troops initiated the confrontation at Lexington and Concord, where they encountered armed resistance from colonists. The American Revolution had begun. The 13 colonies established history through their Declaration of Independence, which ended the global power of the strongest empire in existence. This declaration produced both the All Men Are Created Equal themed battle cry, while its release helped extend war operations. After the Battle of Saratoga, France joined the fight, thus gaining control of military operations for American benefit. Yorktown became victorious after Britain conceded, yet freedom brought instability. When leaders assembled to draft America's current governmental system, they replaced the weak, invalid Articles of Confederation in 1787. As the first American president, George Washington created a foundation for the presidency by turning down unlimited power and by expressing his opposition to political organizations. Expansion soon followed, but tensions with Britain remained. In 1823, the Monroe Doctrine delivered an order to Europe against encroachment upon American territories. While America spread its territory, it underwent a serious schism. The West extracted gold resources. The United States invaded Mexico after Texas accepted their offer to join America, thus starting an open conflict. California entered the U.S. territory after victory, yet the slavery dispute became more vigorous. Abolitionist leader Harriet Tubman committed her efforts to defeat this system. Bleeding Kansas escalated to violence after the demise of the Compromise of 1850. Under the Dred Scott ruling, the court rejected black people from obtaining citizenship. The South rebelled after Lincoln won the presidential election in 1860. War was inevitable. A new era began. These new times brought massive factory sounds as railroads expanded across the nation and business managers took control of different industries. Through their business activities, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, and J.P. Morgan established vast corporate domains. Many millions of immigrants arrived at Ellis Island to seek hope, only to discover difficult life conditions. The collapse of native resistance at Wounded Knee brought Western America toward technological advancement, but at widespread costs. Through his leadership, Theodore Roosevelt launched an offensive against monopolies while he secured labor rights for workers alongside forest protection initiatives. Then, the world changed. World War I engulfed Europe. America intervened in 1917 before achieving final victory in the war. American women secured voting rights at home while Americans began dancing to jazz music and an alcohol ban took effect. The United States appeared prosperous during that period, but secret issues were forming below official appearances. The world crashed. A financial market failure occurred while banks ceased operations and dust storms covered large farming areas. FDR gave society hope through the New Deal, but recovery took an enduring amount of time. Then war. World War II exploded in 1939. The United States officially entered the war after Pearl Harbor occurred in 1941. D-Day, Pacific battles, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. By 1945, the war was over, but a new opposition started. Two superpowers, one world divided. The U.S., along with the Soviet Union, competed to establish nuclear stockpiles while pursuing space exploration and conducting military conflicts in Korea and Vietnam. The civil rights movement received its leadership from Martin Luther King Jr. At the start of 1991, the Soviet Union failed, bringing an end to the Cold War. But a new era began. After September 11th, America lost its solitary superpower status. Following the Cold War, both nations engaged in dual wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The development of technology transformed every aspect of daily life through the internet, social media, and autonomous intelligence. Climate change worsened. Politics polarized. Economic crashes shook the nation. Today, the world faces multiple possible directions in which it can proceed. The next chapter? Still unwritten. If you enjoyed this history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating videos. Stay tuned for our next video.